touched your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. News.
Uh, had intended to do a live stream this earlier, Monday morning rather, and was going to do drawings and all that, mostly Opie, and talk about Anthony's return to terrestrial radio and all that. But of course, they now know that there was a massive attack on both X and Rumble, and so by the time things seemed to be working, I was dead tired. There's a small window when I get home from work to be able to do anything like that. And well, that window closed, and that was that. And I woke up wondering, hey, Pat, what's with the show? And I got the deal. And but I'm not in the best of health myself. Nothing new there. And I've got this headache, sitting around. But I wanted to get something done. So by the time I was getting all this set up and looking up stories, I realized I'm probably not going to draw any of that either. It's just like, oh. So we'll get through these stories. I'll read them in my Mr. Nailsin style. And I did do photoshops of each of the characters from these particular stories. There were a couple of more, but they're really, really awful, and I'm just not in the mood for that. So we'll go with these. Most of these stories concern romance gone horribly wrong. In one case, fatally. And then one story of just some crazy assault at a 7-Eleven. So that's kind of the theme, except for that one, which appears to have nothing to do with a relationship blowing up or anything like that. Maybe tangentially, but that's only mere speculation. So anyway, that's the deal. I'll cover these stories and then a chat with you, should you so desire to put into the chat, which I can see already. Timey-wimey-limey sends me a cup of tea. Nodak says hit the like button. And Nodak's right. While you're waiting for the stories or you're getting a little tired or whatever of me meandering on, hit that like button. Because that's what like buttons are for. So, yeah, you hit that. All right. First things first, let me get to our next, or maybe I went through the trouble of my photoshops. So why don't we go ahead and have our first contestant appear. There she is. That's Shelly. Hi, Shelly. Say hi to the audience. No? Okay, well, she's probably not happy about the situation she's in. What situation is that? Well, let me tell you. Okay, here we go. We're going to have a story of watermelon battery. And that sounds like fun. Well, not so much for the victim, I guess. So anyway, Florida woman, 51 years of age, arrested on domestic watermelon battery charge. Apparently that is a specific charge now. So, it's something. Hey, why did my sound? I had it on the loop. That's not nice. It says loop. Don't you know what a loop is? Does it have like a long silence afterwards, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, there. See, I lost my concentration because of that. But it's only, yeah, whatever. Again, a Florida woman has been charged with domestic battery for allegedly throwing a watermelon at her boyfriend, who luckily dodged the airborne fruit. During a verbal confrontation Sunday evening, Shelley Hardwick, 51, allegedly picked up a whole watermelon and threw it in the direction of the victim. The 56-year-old man quickly moved out of the way. Wow. Of the incoming watermelon, the weight of which is not disclosed. Well, you want to maintain the watermelon's privacy, you know. Hardwick told cops she threw the watermelon only out of frustration, but denied tossing it in her beau's direction. Well, what was the frustration? Were you frustrated with the watermelon? Was that it? And he just happened to be in the vicinity of when you threw it. And you're like, uh-oh. Did you say, look out? You know? But you didn't throw it at him, huh? Anyway, upon arrival at the pair's residence, a motel in Dunedin, a Gulf Coast city, cops noticed there was watermelon seeds on the victim's face and clothing. Hardwick was arrested for domestic battery. I thought it was watermelon battery, I guess it all comes under the same thing. So it's a misdemeanor. After spending a night in jail, she was released from custody on her own recognizance. A judge has directed Hardwick, who has pleaded not guilty, to have no contact with the victim. Additionally, the judge ordered Hardwick to be outfitted with an ankle bracelet that monitors alcohol consumption. Yeah. Well, you know, it didn't say anything about the watermelon, Shelley. I'm guessing she should stay away from that too. Oh, look at that. Oh God, she's going to be so pissed. I've got the stupid logo right in her. Oh my goodness. There she is. Oh boy. She's looking for some watermelon, gonna throw it at me, you know. But no, you just hate watermelons, right, Shelley? This is all a terrible misunderstanding. And you know, it happens. Jason Shelley says, good evening, Mr. Nailsin. Is there a story behind your pronunciation of any duty year? Not really. I just all of a sudden did it once and I thought, it sounds like that robot from the Buck Rogers show in the 80s. And I just kept going with it. I mean, eventually, once it's out of the 20s, you know, you get it. I don't know if 30, it doesn't quite work, you know. So I guess it'll be gone by then, you know. Saint Ranger, howdy, Doug, and greetings to the audience. Howdy, Saint Ranger. Thanks for showing up to this thing. So poor Shelley, I guess that's it. You know, she's out, but they didn't order her to stay away from watermelon. So, yeah, these things can happen, you know. Yeah. Well, our next story is another. This one is easily the worst because, well, it involves homicide, you know. So say hi to Ty. Yeah, his name's Ty. Hi, Ty. And despite the letters of Ty, he's not saying thank you. No. Not that he would have anything to be thankful for at this point. He really messed up. So it's a sad story of impending nuptials that now will never happen because of murder. But it also involves other issues. So here we are. The quote is, can I kill an illegal human? Man accused of killing fiancé asked Google whether he could get away with murder because victim was undocumented immigrant, otherwise known as illegal alien. So there's Ty and Hey, what's wrong with this picture? Where's the fiance? Yeah, that's the fiance. Who is no longer among the living because, I don't know, Ty got mad. So, authorities in Texas arrested a man who they say killed his fiancee after he asked Google, "Can I kill an illegal human?" Because the victim was reportedly an undocumented immigrant. Ty Vaughn, 31, is charged with murder in the January death of 27-year-old Luis Banos Norberto. Vaughn is accused of shooting Norberto in the face, jeez Louise, and then moving his body in an attempt to make it, I guess, look like a suicide. A criminal complaint says it happened January 14th at an apartment complex in Baytown, which is near Houston. So, blah, 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 blah. The arrest affidavit that further details allegations. Okay, he claimed he came home shortly after 5:30 a.m. to find Norberto dead. But surveillance video, see, that those will always get you, and interviews with neighbors told a different story. Video showed that Vaughn actually returned home shortly after 4 a.m. The affidavit, okay. Neighbors reported hearing a gunshot a few minutes later. Yeah. Around 4:30 a.m., as Norberto lay dead in the apartment, Vaughn allegedly texted the victim, Babe, why are you not texting back? But he knew why. Cops reportedly said Vaughn waited until after 5:30 a.m., some 90 minutes later after the murder, to call 911. My spouse is dead, he allegedly told dispatchers. Help, my life is over. Well, not as much as Norberto's, but then in a way yours is over because you're going to be doing time for that. Anyway, officers found Norberto's body lying on a bed with a lever-action rifle up against his arm and a ripped-up picture of him and Vaughn nearby. Detectives noted Vaughn kept saying that Norberto was an undocumented immigrant. Remember, he's undocumented, so this really doesn't count, right? When they searched his phone, they allegedly uncovered that he searched, "Can I kill an illegal human?" on Google. What an idiot. So KTRK spoke with Vaughn before his arrest. He told the TV station that the police know all the details. When offered condolences, he allegedly replied, I mean, it is what it is. Police arrested Vaughn on Saturday. He's at the Harris County Jail on $500,000 bond. Norberto's obituary said he was born in Guerrero, Mexico, and much of his family now lives in Baytown. Jeez. So, Baytown was home, I suppose. Well, I wonder what went wrong, I don't know. And I bet this guy was all like, no one's illegal and all that stuff. And, oh, my God, Trump is just a racist and all this stuff. And then, I don't know, Norberto, did he mess around with another guy? Did he make fun of his thinning hair? I never laugh at his cooking. Could be any number of those things, And Ty had enough, But that's no way to go, Ty. But, well, he did. And that's it. There's not going to be any wedding now. Oh, well. Saint Ranger says that's exactly who I pictured. Bucky. Oh, wait. Is there more here? Oh, yeah. No. For Ty. Wow. And that's just his face on this image, but it's still kind of like, he's like, really? I mean, come on. It was illegal. What? So, anyway. There it goes again. The loop doesn't work. Anyway, Saint Ranger, that didn't read the way I wanted it. I meant the robot on Buck Rogers was named. Oh yeah, I thought it was Twiggy. Wasn't it Twiggy? I don't know if that was named after the model from the '60s, but I thought he was. Didn't he always say like Twiggy, 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 something like that? It's been a while, you know. I think your voice nails it. Dwiddy, dwiddy. Yeah. And look, no one's going to forget 2020, you know. Jeez. But oddly enough, somewhat appropriately named because boy, were things in stark contrast and perspective, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. We had to mask up, but the ruling class let their masks off, huh? Yeah. Well, that's another story. Jason Shelley, we can't be too upset yet. We don't know what Google's answer was yet. He may have it out. The way Google is. Well, in some circumstances. Wow, that fits my situation to a T. St. Ranger says, you're right. Yeah, it was Twiggy, right? Yeah. Although Bucky kind of makes sense, you know, but that was Captain America's pal. But, you know, the robot hung around Buck Rogers and was like, gee, what do you do? Well, what's the name? You're going to call him Roger? Nah, you call him Bucky. But, well, no, he already had a name. Named after that really skinny model from the 60s, Twiggy. He didn't look anything like her. And I'm sure she was petite and all that, but she was still taller than that robot, you know. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. It was way back then. In the early 80s. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So that's it for you, Ty. Now we got to move on to not so deadly a story. Still violent, though. Still violent. But not quite sure what the whole thing is. Plus, I only glanced at it and mostly went by headlines before I didn't do the necessary due diligence to work on these. That's embarrassing. But, well, it is what it is. So here we go. This lovely lady, well, she got upset. And you can understand. Sometimes you do get upset at the 7-Eleven. And such was the case for, well, her name is Shanika. You know, again, what's wrong with this picture? But anyway, the quote is, called the guy a bitch. I'm guessing that's what, maybe bastard, but I'm thinking bitch. And whacked him. Good Lord. I thought this was, no, he's not dead. Florida woman, yes, Florida. Split man's face open with Pringles can at 7-Eleven. Good Lord. I never would have thought. I mean, I suppose you could do some amount of damage, maybe a scratch, but split his head open? Oh, face open. Maybe it's not as bad as we thought. So anyway, a woman was recently arrested in Florida after attacking a man with a can of Pringles and possibly causing him... Oh, that's how long it takes for the loop to happen? Good Lord. I need to fix that. Oh, wait, I need to turn the camera off. Oh, gee, that's embarrassing. All right, let's start over. A woman was recently arrested in Florida after attacking a man with a can of Pringles and possibly causing him permanent disfigurement. Shanika Serdal, 28, stands accused of 1 count of aggravated battery, which I guess counts as Pringles can battery. The actual Pringles chips probably wouldn't do much. I suppose if a few, fragments of it got in your eye, might do something. But the can, that's a different matter. It's mostly cardboard, but you do have the metal edges, And I guess if it's full of the Pringles, it's got the weight to do some damage as you land that on you. Well, anyway, the incident occurred on Thursday at a 7-Eleven on International Drive in Orlando. A deputy arrived in response to a call about a physical fight at the convenience store. The victim, a man, told the deputy that a male approached him and made a comment to him about his vehicle. Then, inside the store, the victim asked the defendant if she was with the man who had inquired about his vehicle. Somewhat abruptly, the narrative accounts for violence. The victim stated that Shanika eventually, see, we're not getting the full details. What was he trying to hit on the girl and she got pissed? I don't know. Shanika eventually struck him in the eye with a Pringles chip. And so just the chip? Oh, the can. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not reading. Pringles chip can. Well, it's Pringles can suffices. I mean, it took off running. While speaking with the victim, I observed that the victim had a significant cut on his right eyebrow and below his eye, causing him to bleed. The cut looked significant and appeared that it would leave a scar and permanent disfigurement. So he'll have one of those like little, bald spot in the middle of his eyebrow. Some people have that, a little dash there. Doesn't give a lot of details about the scratch below his eye, though. Maybe that's a little deeper or something. It says it bled. So, I don't know. Later, law enforcement caught up with Sirdal south of the 7-Eleven. After the victim identified her as the alleged culprit, he's out there. That's her! That's the bitch! He could only spot her with one eye at the time, but nevertheless, she was detained and brought back to the scene of the crime. I asked Shanika what happened, and she advised me that while inside the 7-Eleven, the victim was saying rude things to her and being disrespectful. Shanika said the victim at one point called her a cunt. Whoa. Shanika admitted that due to the victim being rude to her, she hit him. The man who was attacked, however, said he was not being rude at all. As I pulled up to the 7-Eleven, there was a guy sitting outside, and as I got out the car, he said something under his breath, so I ignored him and walked into the 7-Eleven. As I was standing in line, there was a young lady in front of me talking to the cashier. She seemed like she had been drinking. So she stood to the side, and I was about to pay for my drink, and I asked the young lady if she knew the guy outside. The victim told police. Sirdal then turned around and hit me in my eye and above my eye with a Pringles chip can and split my brow above my eye. A 7-Eleven employee subsequently vouched for the victim's version. A male customer got in the head? You mean got hit in the head by a can of Pringles, the employee told the deputy. All the guy was doing was informing me of another male customer that was laying down on the side of the building. So it's some bump. The female called the guy a bitch and whacked him with the Pringles, which literally went flying down one of the aisles. Okay. And guess who's got to clean that up? Me! The male customer's eyebrow was split open. The deputy said the defendant was eventually found with a can of Pringles on her purse. She still had the Pringles. He asked her if she paid for that can, and she allegedly replied that she was unsure. So, no. So you also stole a can of Pringles. Due to not having immediate access to the camera, Shanika was not charged for the petty theft due to the lack of evidence at the time of arrest. The defendant was arrested that same day. Sirdal is not listed as an inmate in the Orange County Jail as of this writing, but she's got to be there, right? I mean, how long does it take them to get the cameras? I guess they got to go through corporate and all that nonsense. Whatever outsourced company handles that. And it's going to be a minute, But what if she's released? They may never find her again. She could be out there menacing other people who just want to strike up a brief conversation, small talk. And then next thing you know, the Pringles will fly. Yeah. Well, anyway, you shouldn't do that sort of thing over what? I don't know. It's still kind of a mystery, you know? And I'm not entirely certain what the deal is. Was the guy outside her boyfriend? I don't know why this guy would have thought there was any connection there. He said something under his breath. Earlier, he said something about his vehicle. I don't know. Was she insulted that the guy suggested that she was with this vagrant? Could be that. But that's still not worth a whole can of Pringles, you know. But that's how it went. But I don't know. She's got to be in jail, though, huh? Because, I mean, they had a witness. They had the victim say, yeah, she's the one. And she's not denying she hit the guy in the face with the Pringles. She just said, well, he was really rude, so I had to, you know, that kind of thing. So odds are she is locked up. I mean, you know, just because you couldn't get her on the Pringles theft. The Pringles are fine, by the way. But the guy's eyebrow, not so much. Oh, well, Shanika, that's no way to behave. Maybe you'll just be one of those people that just has to learn the hard way. Let me adjust our next contestant. Yeah, that'll do. All right, here's Michael. So we'll end on a light note. It gets pretty serious, somewhat, but no fatalities. So, you know. That's why I said light. And nowhere near as violent as what Shanika did with the can of Pringles. So, you know, again, a lighter note. Okay. Okay, I got to get rid of that. Get it set up here. There it is. I'll hide that. Let me there we are. Will shut me off there. And there's Michael. So, a man allegedly locked his girlfriend, her daughter, in a room because the girl, I'm assuming the daughter, ate his Alfredo sauce. Oh my goodness. So, I guess don't mess with Mike's Alfredo sauce. You know, he'll put up with a lot, but that's the deal breaker. A man was arrested this week for allegedly traffic. What the hell? Do that. For trapping his girlfriend and her daughter in a hotel room because he believed the daughter stole his pasta sauce. Sure, it's still, yeah, okay. On March 5th, Michael Lisk's girlfriend contacted the Memphis Police Department and said she and Lisk argued that morning over food her daughter allegedly took. The girlfriend was attempting to defuse the arguments, but Lisk allegedly would not stop. The woman told police Lisk pushed her on the bed, grabbed her, then pulled her off it, which caused her to hit the floor very hard. The girlfriend reportedly said she was going to leave, but Lisk allegedly kept forcing the door shut and even laid his body across the door so she could not open, the door. He reportedly wanted to talk about the food her daughter stole from him. The girlfriend managed to escape the room at 10:35 a.m., and she called her daughter at school. Oh, so girlfriend, her daughter, but the daughter was at school, so she wasn't locked up. Maybe she comes home and he locks her up then. I don't know. The girlfriend managed to escape and called her daughter to inform her not to return to the hotel room where they had been staying. The daughter, however, went... Oh, okay. See, I jumped on that. Went back to the hotel. But your mom just told you. She and her mother went into the room so the mother could retrieve her belongings, but Lisk allegedly slammed the door and would not allow them to leave and began yelling at both and began calling them names. While yelling at them, Lisk accused the daughter of stealing his Alfredo sauce. The woman called police, and Memphis police officers were dispatched to the hotel at 4:05 p.m. The affidavit says the daughter managed to escape the room, but as her mother attempted to leave, she got, stuck in the window? No, her backpack strap got caught on the door latch. Lisk allegedly put his arm around his girlfriend's face from the back and pulled her back into the room. Lisk opened the door when police showed up at 4:29 p.m. Lisk was arrested and charged with 1 count of felony kidnapping and 1 count of misdemeanor domestic assault. Yeah. Well, that's too bad. I guess that relationship is also pretty much over, you know. What are you going to do? He wouldn't let her leave. And the kid, stole his Alfredo sauce. I don't know. I guess that's just something you shouldn't do. And according to him, it's definitely not something you should do. So don't mess with his Alfredo sauce. But, he didn't throw a can at him to cut their eyes open. He didn't throw a watermelon at him. And he didn't shoot him and didn't stage it as, suicide. So, again, this is the lighter of the stories, nowhere near as violent. Nodak sneak up on you and hit you with a pre. She's very sneaky. Nodak, Mamma Mia, she ate my Alfredo sauce. Yeah, apparently it went down like that, And it's too bad the girl ate the Alfredo sauce because it probably would have ended up on the kitchen wall in the midst of the argument with Mike here being like, not my Alfredo sauce, you don't. I guess if they just said, yeah, I don't know, I was hungry, I'm sorry, would that have diffused it and he'd be fine? Probably just can't stand the daughter being around. It's not his kid, So this was never going to work, really. And now it's over, I guess. Plus, he technically, under the letter of the law, he kidnapped him. He wouldn't let him leave, that kind of thing. So I don't know what he's looking at under that situation, but it's a mess. But damn, guy really loves his Alfredo sauce. I don't know if you can get Alfredo sauce in prison, though. So, what are you going to do? Well, not a whole lot. You just sit there, But anyway, there you go. That's him. Those were our contestants. Bloop. That's cool. So I can do it like that. And he fades away. So, we had Shelly. We had Ty. If I can, will it let me? Yeah, it'll let me do that. Well, what do you know? I'm thinking Ty's a little taller than this. So we'll fix that. Look, it's Ty, the murderer. And then, Shanika, who just is safe as long as there's no can of Pringles around. So then, there you go, Shanika. You get in there. And then, Michael. Here he is. Maybe he'll just be in the background. Since his was the case that wasn't as serious. And Here we go. And I think Shelly should actually be a little smaller here. She probably is. There we go. There we are. There's our crew. The gang's all here. Oh, wait. That doesn't look quite right for Michael. Let me... It's there. All right. Can you believe it? That little bitch ate my Alfredo sauce, and I'm the one who's got to go to jail? I didn't steal nothing. But you wouldn't let him leave, yeah. So there you go. That was our crew for this show. Was hoping I could stretch this into an hour. But I apologize for my many ailments, But it does happen. Whoops, all skipping around. There we go. I don't know. Is Rumble under attack again? Jeez Louise. Look, it's just a video platform. You don't have to do any of that. But anyway, I guess that'll do it for Nailsin News Live this time around. It's kind of bad because, I've drawn some really horrible people. Probably could have drawn Shanika or Shelly. But maybe later, hopefully, maybe I can get in a morning show later on. If I can, and we'll do it again then. But this is going to have to be it. And again, apologies for all that. But hey, look, I did what I could. That's no reason to lock me up in the bathroom and scream at me about Alfredo sauce. No, and I don't deserve any Pringle cans, and I definitely don't deserve watermelon, nor what Ty did. So there you go. Hopefully you'll have a good rest of your night, and we'll do it again soon. There's a few more. Sorry. Nodak, he was mad that he didn't remember it was National Pasta Day. He forgot to write it on his calendar. It could be. Good possibility. Saint Ranger says, we are glad we saw you tonight like always. Well, thank you, Saint Ranger. I appreciate you showing up and watching this attempt at a show. Okay. Something's going on. It keeps hanging up. I don't know is it under attack again? I don't know. So I guess I better end it anyway. Maybe I won't be able to broadcast much further. We'll see. Anywho, I'll catch you later. Hopefully soon. That's not it. That was going to be the morning thing because I was going to draw Opie and all that. But, well, the best laid plans and all that. Here it is. Okay. Have a good night.
Just your meat to take a walk down the street while killing, we killing and killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News.
Oh, colander, right? I'm sorry. The headache's getting in the way.
Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News. News. blues.